welcome back to another Bachelorette recap. It's season 20, episode 3. Charity and the boys head out to Oceanside, California. Brayden gets the first one-on-one, and if you watched last week, if you watched this week, you know Brayden is rubbing the guys the wrong way. And it's honestly very entertaining. This is entertainment. This is why we watch the show. Brayden genuinely seems really excited about Charity. I think he actually really likes her a lot. I don't know, he keeps planting this topic of like, I don't know that I'm gonna be ready for an engagement, and you know, she's dating all these other guys. I actually think his reasoning behind those feelings is pretty normal. The whole episode he's like, if these guys say that they're ready for an engagement, like they're not understanding the magnitude of what an engagement is, even what a relationship is. I think that's more foolish. But Brayden kind of planting this narrative and kind of saying like, oh, I just don't know. I think he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I really do. And I think that's really, really common on the show. I think it's fair to an extent because you don't get a ton of time with the lead. So I don't know if he's saying this and kind of like forewarning her because he's trying to get ahead of that so that he doesn't like, you know, pull the sheet out from underneath of her and blindside her. Like maybe he's already plotting his escape is my thought. I think a bigger red flag for Brayden is that he thinks that he can trust anybody in that house and speak openly. Like that's so unfortunate, but he should have figured it out. There was tension night 1. There was tension week 1. So for him to be so open about this narrative of like not being ready for an engagement, I'm like, he's just asking for trouble. And that seems like a bigger red flag than him actually not being ready for an engagement at the end of this. I didn't mention John on my last recap, but I kind of meant to. I think I made a note that I'm like, he's so charming and cute. Like he's very, very likable. The fact that he was birthday suit Ken literally freaking killed me. He was hysterical. I feel like if I were there and I were in their position, I would choose that same fit just because I feel like it's so bad that it's good. Tanner's outfit kills me. He looks like he's about to do drag. I would love a drag race episode. Like we need to get RuPaul on The Bachelorette. All the guys can drag because Tanner is like hair and makeup away from being in drag right now, and I'm obsessed. Also, Tanner is very cute, has a charming like essence to him, but we really haven't seen much of him, and I'm like, are we gonna see more Tanner? I would love to get to know him. I don't know, maybe there's not enough of a connection between them, or maybe it's just coming later, but Tanner seems really cool. I know I gave Adrian a hard time last week because he was bringing up the drama stuff, but I actually really think he's sweet. I could tell that he was nervous for the performance, but he actually put in a lot of effort, and he seems like he's a good guy. And of course he was classic Ken. It just fits him. Like he's very, I feel like he's more traditional. He's like a classic guy. Sean was giving us like 90s boy band classic Canadian tuxedo. Like it was very funny. He did look like a Ken doll. He surprised us. Actually, the first few lines that they showed of him singing or rapping or whatever he was doing, I low-key was like, oh, this kind of sounds like a bop, but then it did get a little rough, but he really owned it. And I think he understood the assignment. He was like, make the connection with Charity, get the crowd involved. He definitely came in with a game plan, and that was like very good strategy for this. Dotun has really good energy. I feel like he's a nice guy. We haven't seen a lot of him. Again, he's one of those guys, kind of like John, where I'm like, I want to see more about him. And in this episode, we did get a little bit more of him, but I'm like, I'm ready for us to dive in. Like he just seems like a good guy. He's got a good sense of humor, staying away from the drama. We love to see it. Aaron S. I'm not sure how to read him yet. I didn't like that he was dragging Sean for being, you know, like not a manly man. I don't know these guys, but I think there's all different kinds of men, and I just don't like when you try to take something away from somebody because they don't have what it is you have. Everybody's unique, everybody's different. That's my hot take. The insinuation there was that one is better than the other, and I don't think that's true. It's just that people have different tastes, they're looking for different things. So I didn't love that, but at the same time I'm like, that could have been a soundbite. Like that could have been him a little bit frustrated and producers were really prying for him to dig in. I don't know if that was like truly what he was feeling or if they actually have beef, or if he was just being a little laid back bitch because he was tired and hungry. You know what I mean? Okay, Loki, I think James can sing, right? I was like, oh, he's the only one like in tune on beat. John's performance is so funny. Again, it's so bad it's good. Caleb can sing too. Not mad at Cowboy Ken with a little vibrato on stage, literally. Okay, we see you, Caleb. I thought Sean was really sweet on the one-on-one time with Charity. I mean, they actually seem to have a connection. I haven't really seen much from them together up until this point, but it really did seem like they liked each other. Low-key, I am weak that Sean came in singing his song and then pulled Charity for the first person to get her. Yeah, that was funny. He just thought it was about to be like a good old time, and it just wasn't. I think it's a bold move to take Charity first after you were the one that had one-on-one time after the group date. I do think it's a bold move. It's not a great way to make friends, but at the same time, I'm like, it's such a minor thing. Hopefully it gets dropped and people just move on. I freaking love Charity and Dotton's connection. You can tell there's something special there. I am just like ready for him to have a one-on-one. I'm like, Charity, give him the one-on-one. We need to know, like, we need to know more about him. I want to know his background. I want to know more about like who he is. I feel like he's somebody that, again, I said this last week with Aaron B, but I'm like, he might be like that slower burn, which in my opinion is better. I think it's better to have a slower burn rather than just like instant chemistry, tons of, you know, fireworks and whatever, because that sometimes will like blow up in your face, kind of like what is seemingly happening with Brayden. But Dotton is giving you all the good vibes. He's giving me all the good vibes for you.
Because I forgot about war. I was like, is no one going on a one-on-one? And I was like, oh my God, it's Warren.
That makes sense.
You know,
I think it's going well with Charity.
The date with Warren was freaking hysterical. Like, the fact that he was so sleepy at the end, I'm like, honestly, if you've been in that position, you know it is exhausting filming the show, and you're up so late, you're up so early. I thought it was so funny that he was literally falling asleep at the end. He's a very, very good looking man. So I understand why Charity's like, maybe maybe he's a little bit more shy, but I'm very attracted to this person, so I want to see if there's something deeper there. But sometimes you just like don't have that much in common with somebody, and you can find them attractive, you can see them as a high quality person, but you're like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, we're probably not compatible, and like, I don't know what to talk to you about right now. And that's okay. He does seem like a nice guy, but I also think like reality TV is really hard to open up on sometimes in general, and I think these people are some of the best people that I know and some of the best people I've dated. They're people that wouldn't thrive on reality television because there's cameras, there's people, like, it's not an intimate setting to date in. So if you're a little bit more reserved, I can totally see why it would make you incredibly uncomfortable. Also, I was disappointed in Aaron B for bringing it up to Charity at the cocktail party. I totally get where everybody's coming from, where they're like, you really screwed us. Like, you used your opportunity to get to know her, to spend time with her, to tell her about an issue with another guy that she really likes. And so yeah, the other guys lost out on time with her. After night one, you see how cutthroat it is, and you see that not everybody is gonna get time with the lead. Immediately, you're put into this like situation where you're like, I need to make sure, what do I need to do to get time? I understand where Aaron B was coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I think you have to let people discover things on their own. I think Charity's totally capable of finding these red flags out on her own, or letting that relationship develop naturally, organically, either grow and he becomes more comfortable with the idea of getting engaged or leaving together, or he starts to express that, you know, he's not feeling comfortable, and like, that's just like an organic process. I think it takes away from your connection with that person. So now Aaron B and Brayden are gonna have beef, and that's gonna be like more so a storyline than Aaron B's connection with Charity or Brayden's connection with Charity. Like, it's gonna be more about their beef, it's gonna be more about there's drama in the house, and I, like, personally, if I were in her shoes, like, that would be a really unattractive thing for me. It didn't feel helpful, in my opinion. I also just like don't think that Brayden is it. He is inconsiderate of other people in the room, and that would be a red flag in a relationship, because yeah, he might treat you great and wonderful and it's all rainbows and sunshine at first, but if you see the way he's treating other people and it's inconsiderate, that is going to reflect into your relationship eventually. Can we just take a moment for Joey. I feel like if him and Charity aren't together right now, he is possibly the next Bachelor. Bringing the letters that his grandpa wrote him and that he takes with him everywhere to show Charity is like the sweetest thing. He's doing a really good job presenting himself. By doing that, it's like he's sharing a part of who he is. And it's not gimmicky, it's not like this quirky like experience that's gonna distract from them really getting to know each other. It's like he's sharing a piece of who he is. I think it's just like a really well thought out gesture to show Charity those things. This is my PSA. I said it last week, I'll say it again. I hate the here for the wrong reasons narrative. And I don't think that because somebody is expressing that they're not ready for an engagement makes them there for the wrong reasons. Period. Honestly, I think it's good that Charity didn't take back the rose from Brayden. I don't think he's her person. I don't know if they are together. I hope they're super happy. I hope it's going really well. If they're not together, I will not be surprised because I don't think that Brayden is her person. I don't think he's at the maturity level of somebody that is like wanting a serious relationship. It's giving commitment issues and that's okay. Like that's literally okay. If Charity were to send him home now, she may be thinking about him as the process moves forward and she might be wondering if she made a mistake or she might be regretting her decision. Ultimately, she has to be at peace with the decision. That's what this process is about. You do things at your own pace, you figure it out as you go. And so for her to let him stay one more week, I think it's good. It's gonna let things pan out. It's gonna show people's true colors, including Brayden, including Aaron B, including other guys that have to interact with him in the house. It's gonna really show people's character. So personally, I think it's good that she's letting him stay. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching another recap. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I am trying to be on the YouTube train. I'm having so much fun on here. I'm loving it. I want to be engaging with you guys, building a little bit of a community on here, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So thanks for watching my recap. I'll see you guys next week. And let me know in the comments what you think. Who do you think Charity's ending up with? Who do you think is going home next week? Do you think it's going to be like an Aaron B, Brayden? Do you think there's going to be a 2-on-1? Tell me everything. Let me know below. No spoilers, but I'm just curious y'all's thoughts.